While there's a lot of research and talk on health span and longevity these days, talking about everything from what diet, what exercise, what nutritional supplements we should be taking, etc., etc. I think the real secret to longevity and health span is not being addressed, at least in my opinion. In my opinion, the secret to longevity and health span lies in recognizing the timeless awareness that underlies all our experiences. Our bodies and minds are temporary, ever changing phenomena, but the awareness that witnesses them is eternal, spaceless, and infinite. By shifting our identity from the transient to the permanent, we can unlock the keys to slowing down the aging process and extend lifespan and health span. Our bodies and minds are constantly in flux, undergoing continuous changes and transformations. The body ages, grows, um, develops from childhood to adulthood, eventually decays. And the mind also is a stream of thoughts, emotions, sensations that come and go. These experiences of both body and mind are intermittent, appearing and disappearing in the field of awareness. Awareness at all times remains the timeless background of experience. Awareness, the background of all experience, is the constant, unchanging factor in our lives, the only unchanging factor in our lives. I mentioned ad nauseum, I think, that it is spaceless, timeless, infinite, not subject to the limitations of time and space. The awareness, this continuous awareness, is the irreducible essence of our being and the foundation upon which all experiences arise and subside. So, by turning our attention to the timeless factor in every time bound awareness, we can shift our identification from the temporary to the eternal. Instead of identifying with the body and mind, we recognize ourselves as the awareness that witnesses the body and mind. And this shift in perspective has profound implications for our well being. It's also the key to managing stress. When we identify with awareness, we experience no resistance, no defensiveness, no seeking. We don't feel we have to create a story around every experience. We are able to meet life's challenges with equanimity and grace as we recognize that they are temporary phenomena arising and passing away in the field of awareness. This non reactive stance is actually the only way to manage stress without definitely, holding on to a practice. Of course, practice like meditation, mindfulness are all great, but you can be in this state all the time. So, once again, the non reactive stance is the key to managing stress, which is a major contributor, as we know, to accelerated aging and poor health with adrenaline, inflammation, cortisol, immunocompromising all the systems in our body. By constantly turning our attention to the timeless awareness that underlies all experience, we can, I believe, slow down the aging process and extend our lifespan and health span. When we identify with awareness, we are less affected by the ravages of time as we recognize that our true nature is beyond the limitations of body and mind, which are time bound experiences. So, once again, the secret to longevity and health span lies in recognizing the timeless awareness that is the background of all experience. And by shifting our identity from the time bound to the eternal, from the temporary to the timeless, is the best way to manage stress. and extend our lifespan and health span. Once again, awareness is the key to unlocking the secrets of longevity and well being. I can elaborate on this a little more. Timeless awareness can influence our physical health just beyond stress management. By identifying with the timeless, spaceless awareness that underlies all experiences, we can slow down the aging process. I think I'm being redundant right now, saying the same thing over and over again. So I'll stop here. But here's something very practical, okay? As you go about your day, anything stressless, anything that causes stress, anything that causes stress, somebody says something rude to you, or somebody cuts you off in a traffic jam, or your investment fails, or something happens to your business. Instead of identifying with the experience, go back to the awareness in which the experience is a passing show. Identify not with the scenery, but the seer. Because you are not the scenery. Even though you're projecting the scenery, you're the seer. The seer in the midst of the changing scenery is timeless. And you are that. Tatvamasi. Maybe you are the scenery too. Maybe you are the scenery because, observer and observed are one, so seer and scenery are entangled. However, the scenery is passing show, the seer remains the ever present witnessing awareness. A time comes when the witness drops, and what's left is pure being. Even beyond the witness, pure being is even beyond the witness. That is the ultimate conquest of death and of stress or anything that causes entropy. Thermodynamics in the body is the expression of entropy. Aging, thermodynamics, the arrow of time. These are the expressions of entropy. The state of least excitation is the state of least entropy. And it's also very joyful, even in the midst of experience.